Sword Art Online Fractured Daydream Deluxe Edition is a new addition to the popular Sword Art Online game series. Marking a fresh chapter after the franchise's 10th anniversary, the game introduces the Galaxia system, allowing players to experience past events. However, Galaxia spirals out of control, displacing characters from various timelines. Players join Kirito, forming alliances with friends and foes to restore the timeline. Featuring 21 characters from different RCS, the game focuses on team-based multiplayer co-op, where up to 20 players participate in boss raids. Success hinges on strategy and preparation. Let's take a closer look at our next review. Common feedback points to this SAO game highlight a mixed reception. Some praise it as the best SAO game yet, with a long story mode, over 20 playable characters, fun gameplay, and many modes and maps. However, many reviewers also criticize its lack of content given the price, recommending waiting for a sale. The multiplayer modes are enjoyable but become repetitive with limited rewards. Issues like missing pre-order bonuses, DLCs, and a flawed loot system in co-op missions are common complaints. The game structure feels like a worse version of Granblue Fantasy, and several players find the map design, limited character leveling, and the presence of an intrusive in-game shop off-putting. Despite enjoyable combat and SAO fan service, it falls short of expectations for newcomers and longtime players alike. Warhammer 40,000 Warpforge is a free-to-play collectible digital card game set in the grimdark future of the 41st millennium. Players can command one of 10 Warhammer 40,000 factions, each with its own starter deck and unique mechanics that reflect their fighting style. Combat is dynamic, with units able to engage in both ranged and melee attacks, and each battlefield scenario adds shifting environmental effects that influence strategy. The game offers an immersive experience with stunning artwork, voice acting, and deep connections to the Warhammer 40,000 lore, delivering fast-paced strategic card battles for players seeking glory. Let's take a closer look at our next review. Common feedback points to the game highlight its polished visuals and atmospheric fidelity to the Warhammer universe. Players noted that while the gameplay is fundamentally solid and balanced for an early access release, it suffers from an excruciatingly slow pace and an overwhelming number of in-game currencies. This multi-layered economy confuses players and pushes heavily towards monetization. Many found progression impossible without significant real money investment, citing frustration with the overpowered mythic cards that cost around 25 each. Matchmaking struggles on launch day were also noted, with sparse player activity. Ultimately, despite its potential, the game's aggressive monetization detracts from the experience, leading many to abandon it early on. Wizard of Legend 2 is a fast-paced action, roguelike set in a world of myth and magic, where ambitious wizards from across the globe compete in the dangerous trials of legend, hosted in the floating lands. The game builds on the success of its predecessor with vibrant new 3D visuals and introduces online co-op, starting with 2 players and expanding to 4 at full release. Players must master both familiar and new arcana magical spells tied to elemental forces like fire, water, and chaos while experimenting with different spell combinations and strategies. The trials, crafted by the powerful wizard Hieronymus, are constantly shifting, offering unpredictable challenges in each run. Persistent progression allows players to unlock new powers as they strive to become a true Wizard of Legend. Whether played solo or with friends, Wizard of Legend 2 offers thrilling, chaotic combat and evolving gameplay in every session. Let's take a closer look at our next review. Common feedback points to the game highlight both its potential and its current shortcoming. The game introduces some innovative mechanics, such as slamming enemies into walls for extra damage and hyper armor on enemies to reduce stagger effect. The addition of new boss mechanics like armor breaks and changes to relics and modifiers have been well received. However, there are notable bugs, an unstable multiplayer experience, and issues with the controller support that detract from the overall experience. While the game has 4 difficulty settings and customization options, it feels less polished, with fewer arcana and weaker combat feedback compared to its predecessor. Many players appreciate the developer's openness to feedback, but it currently lacks the unique identity that made the original game stand out. In this exciting game, Kvark, players must navigate the ominous and secretive world of a mysterious facility where they have applied for a job. As they prepare for an interview, they are presented with a tongue-in-cheek corporate briefing that promises safety, security, and opportunity, while subtly hinting at the unsettling and hazardous conditions within the underground complex. From high security measures and radioactive materials to unexpected job assignments and restricted areas, the game blends dark humor with a dystopian atmosphere. Players will face tense situations while trying to survive, all under the guise of securing the future of humankind. And now we come to the reviews. Reviewers are of the opinion that Kvark, currently in early access, shows promise but suffers from a few notable issues. Its minimalist design and Half-Life-inspired gameplay offer a range of weapons, puzzles, and enemy types, with secrets to uncover across levels. However, the checkpoint system and some unbalanced gameplay, such as enemies overwhelming players too quickly, have been criticized. One boss fight in particular has frustrated many due to scarce ammo and long attempts to defeat it. The game has received praise for its atmosphere, controls, and unique level design, but technical bugs, slow reloads, and inconsistent difficulty affect the overall experience. Some find the potential worth exploring as the game improves with updates, though many are holding off on recommendations until key issues, like saving mechanics and combat balance, are addressed. In this exciting game, Gnomes and Knights, players must navigate a dark fantasy medieval world in search of elusive gnomes. Set in a procedurally generated environment, the game offers high replayability as players explore a gloomy forest, encountering various story characters while uncovering the mystery of a cursed world they had a hand in creating. With 5 levels, 6 possible endings, and multiple plot twists, each decision shapes the outcome, making every playthrough unique. Its low poly graphics and affordable price ensure a smooth, engaging experience without overloading your system. And now we come to the reviews. As observed by multiple reviewers, this game offers an atmospheric retro dark fantasy vibe with a highly addictive soundtrack that enhances its immersive experience. It transports players back to a 90s-like era while delivering on its promise with stylish visuals and engaging gameplay. The gnome characters have sparked a love-hate dynamic among players, creating both frustration and enjoyment, leading to memorable moments like chasing and defeating them. Despite some repetitiveness, the game's strong personality and sense of nostalgia make it well worth playing, especially for its price. Many appreciated its dark, moody atmosphere and found themselves hooked for future playthroughs. Recycling Center Simulator is a resource management game that revolves around dealing with customers to acquire raw materials. Players engage with the city's waste sellers through a computer interface, negotiating to purchase waste at lower prices. Once waste is acquired, players must collect and transport it to their factory, where it is sorted by type using a sorting machine. The sorted raw materials can then be put back into production to create more valuable products. As players progress, they can expand their factory and enhance their operations, allowing them to sell new and more valuable products, ultimately aiming for greater efficiency and profitability in the recycling industry. Let's take a closer look at our next review. Reviewers are of the opinion that the newly released Recycling Simulator successfully builds upon its prologue, offering engaging gameplay that combines trash collection and management. Players appreciate the ability to accept multiple contracts simultaneously, allowing for more efficient operations and profit generation. The introduction of skills and the promise of future content, including paid DLCs, has been positively noted. The game allows players to expand their recycling center, hire staff, and engage in lively negotiations for selling processed materials. While some criticize the repetitive nature of tasks and the inability to customize key bindings, the overall mechanics are solid, and the game runs smoothly. Many find it a relaxing and enjoyable experience, especially for fans of laid-back simulator games. With room for further development, it appears to satisfy early expectations and provides a fun, if straightforward, gaming experience. In this exciting game, 5 Hearts Under One Roof, players must navigate a captivating love story while managing a lively boarding house filled with 5 unique heroines. As Human, the protagonist who has always been home alone, players will interact with Mal Suk Go, a childhood friend, Min Young Park, a former idol and first love, Gran Dong, a demanding boss, Yeon Bai Go, a bold younger girl, and Sung Hee Jo, an adorable recluse. Each character presents distinct challenges and romantic possibilities, with choices leading to multiple story branches and endings. The immersive first-person simulation offers high-quality visuals and natural acting, enhancing the emotional experience. With hidden epilogues and unexpected routes, players are encouraged to explore their deepest desires. 5 Hearts Under One Roof launches on October 3rd, Castille, inviting players into a world of romance and intrigue. And now we come to the reviews. Reviewers are of the opinion that this game offers a transformative experience, often described as life-changing. Players report a deep emotional engagement, leading some to abandon other genres entirely, like shooters. The narrative resonates strongly, evoking feelings of longing for love and connection, with characters that feel genuinely appealing and well-developed. The game's mechanics may require adjustments, such as language settings, but once configured, it immerses players into its vibrant world. Many express a newfound appreciation for the visual novel format, praising the realistic character portrayals and engaging storytelling. Players reflect on their personal lives, often with humor, while enjoying the game's charm. The voice acting is highlighted as a significant strength, enhancing the overall enjoyment. Enthusiasts eagerly anticipate future titles from the development team, affirming the impact and quality of this unique gaming experience. The Strongest TOFU is a unique action game centered around the versatile food made from soybeans. Players can choose from 3 types of tofu: cotton, silk, and koya, crafted in 3D, using cutting-edge technology. With a simple one-button operation, the game allows for quick and easy gameplay, perfect for both casual and dedicated gamers. The experience is enhanced by precise vibration and physical feedback that simulate the fragility of tofu, requiring players to navigate carefully to avoid crumbling. The objective is to jump into the oven before the timer runs out, all while exploring a wealth of tofu trivia that educates players on this nutritious food. Additionally, the game features a minigame called Tofu Factory for endless tofu production. With a playtime of 1 to 2 hours and an original soundtrack composed by Ryo Nagamatsu, The Strongest TOFU offers an immersive experience that celebrates the simplicity and joy of tofu. Let's take a closer look at our next review. Reviewers are of the opinion that I Am Tofu stands out as a unique gaming experience, blending absurdity with charm. The game's premise revolves around the protagonist, a piece of tofu, navigating a quirky world filled with whimsical challenges and colorful characters. Critics highlight its simplistic yet engaging gameplay, allowing players to explore, solve puzzles, and embark on a variety of hilarious quests. Despite its seemingly ridiculous concept, the game manages to deliver an enjoyable and light-hearted experience that keeps players entertained. The visuals are vibrant, complementing the quirky theme, while the soundtrack adds to the overall delightful atmosphere. While some may find the premise absurd, many appreciate its creativity and humor, making it a memorable title for those willing to embrace its unconventional nature. I Am Tofu ultimately demonstrates that sometimes the most unexpected ideas can yield surprisingly enjoyable results.